Hello, everybody. I'm Noemi Banchi, and we are broadcasting from Springwood, Australia. Well, we are studying this book, Pillars of Metaphysics, by Rubén Cedeño. Let me bring it one so you can see. All right, so this is the book, Pillars of Metaphysics by Rubén Cedeño. And bit by bit, we are talking about all the content of this book. Well, today we are going to talk about powerful decrees. Well, I don't know what do you think when you read this title, but let's figure it out. First of all, we are going to talk about the definition of a decree. A decree is a verbal or mental affirmation, whether positive or negative. So, decree. When you say a decree, do you have a doubt? Do you have doubts that is not going to happen? No. A decree by law is something that is done. And here it says can be verbal or can be mental. And there are two type here. It says positive or negative. What is the difference? Well, the words you are saying. Within the causation quadrant, Rubén Cedeño explains, it manifests by producing the effect of what has been stated. In other words, you have power in your words. And the causation quadrant, the positive causation quadrant, is composed of 4 elements: thoughts, feelings, decrees or words, and actions. So this, what Master Saint Germain says, whatever you think and feel, you will manifest. But saying like that, when someone is ill and you tell them you can heal by saying, I'm healthy. There is a key. What is the key? What is the key that is to manifest that well-being? Is the feeling. It's all about your feeling. Because you can say, I'm healthy, but if you don't feel it, well, it's not going to happen. So what I'm saying here is, let's say you are a woman. Like me, I am a woman. So I say something, I'm healthy, with the conviction that I'm saying I am a woman. If you're a woman, okay, or man, or I don't know, what do you see yourself? Because now there are a few variations. We are not going into details about that. Free will for everybody. So, these 4 elements we use. For what? Well, let's see examples here. Your body. You can change the shape of your body by your decrees. But if you still saying, oh, my arthritis, my all the conditions, I'm not going to mention all the conditions now because we are giving power, so we are saying the decrees. So what you say, you you are giving power. So when it's the time to talk about your body, so listen to what you are saying. Well, about your, I don't know, if your clothes, so you can decree. Let's say you want a pair of shoes. You can decree you want a pair of shoes. Which color, which size, everything. If you want to have a couple, 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many. Anyway, freedom again. Well, you can also decree, but if you state every time, oh, I don't find anybody, I'm so alone, this loneliness is killing me, well, that's the decree that you're not going to find someone. I have friends, I can't say because they say this, they are Mexicans, and they met each other by saying a decree, by saying the scientific prayer, and then we are going to see that scientific prayer in a few moments. A house. Do you want to live in a house or in an apartment? Well, what do you say? Do you say, I want this house with this kitchen and this so many bedrooms, these bathrooms, blah, blah, blah? Or you're saying, oh, it's so expensive to buy a house? Well, you have power. So when you say those decrees, you are not going to get a house because you are using the power here. A job. Let's say you have a job but you don't like it for any reason. Well, you can change your job. I remember now, a friend of mine was saying this example. One of his students, we are talking about metaphysics students, always complaining about the job. She was very unhappy in that job, and blah, 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 blah. One day, she got fired. So she went to my friend crying, saying, oh no, you know what happened? I got fired, blah, blah, blah. And he said, but I don't understand you. You always complain about your job, and now you are free, then you complain. So you can use the power of your decrees to find a job you like, or a car, or even if you want to travel, or anything. So you just need to use this. Every spoken word becomes a decree. Ruben Cedeño says. Some people laugh when I say that, yes, by saying, because they think it's easy to say it. Well, don't believe me. It's okay. Don't believe me. Just do it. Apply yourself. And there are a few classifications of decrees. We have the positive decrees, negative decrees, daily decrees, and inner decrees. So which are which? Positive decrees are the constructive words. And should I say this first? When we say a decree, using the verb I am, the conjugation of the verb being is I am, that's powerful. That's the verb that we use to create things. So for example, constructive words, I am protected, I am safe, I am intelligent, I am inclusive. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am prosperous. I forgive you. So those are constructive words, and we use the I am. Because when you say I am, you are. So let's put it in that way. When you say I am, the whole universe stops, because what you're going to say next is going to be a decree, is going to be manifest. If you use the quotation quadrant, of course. Toxic words. Toxic words are sorry for bother you, or all negative words. I'm poor, the market is on the roof, everything is too expensive, we cannot live here. Talking about illness all the time, focusing on illness conditions, or poverty. Day-to-day conversations are, example of, I'm going to have lunch, I played soccer last week. Like, let's say, conversation that doesn't have any really importance as such. They are day-to-day conversations, and affirmations, treatments, and services. That's we are going to talk later. Well, we said already some examples of positive words saying the I am, negative words or toxic words, and a treatment that we are going to see later. And I want to reflect on Churchill's words. You are the master of your unspoken words, but a slave to the words you have spoken. Why is that? Because the power of your words. And he is referring here to the negative words, that if you say, I will never forgive you for what you have done, that is a sentence of suffering for you, not for the other person, for you. So you're a slave of the words, because you don't want to forgive. Or, for example, I heard this all the time. I am so uncoordinated. Well, if you say so, you will be. So you are the slave of your words. And you know what? Thinking right now of some examples. So there is a saying, what you don't use, you lose. And this is why in science it says that we use 5% of our brain, of our mental capacity, because we can really use much more than we are using right now. The only thing is the human race in general is more emotional than rational, let's say. So, and this is the race of mental plane, which is where we are working on to see if we can learn to positively thinking or positively think. So in order to not be a slave of your words, what do you need to do? Speak positively. Now, I don't know if you're hungry. I'm a little bit, I didn't have lunch yet. But what about this? Pumpkin soup. What do you need to prepare this pumpkin soup? Well, obviously, ingredients. Pumpkin, carrot, cream, milk, onion, etc., 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 pepper, etc., salt, etc. A lot of ingredients to make a perfect pumpkin soup. Well, there are elements of a constructive decree. Constructive, what is the synonym of constructive? Positive. Okay, so in terms of ingredients to say a positive decree. First of all, positive mental attitude. Is your attitude that is going to change? I don't know if I said that before. When you see a prime minister or a president of a nation, and I think, what condition, what is the difference between a person, like a prime minister, for example, and another person? Are they taller? Are they slimmer? Are they what physical features they have? No specific features. Is the attitude. I'm saying, well, prime minister, because I don't know, I just give an example, but when you get the job, how do you get the job? Well, your positive mental attitude. When you are, meeting someone and you like that person, what is going to happen? Well, you will be successful if you have a positive attitude. Imagine that you go to eat with someone that you are just knowing each other, and then you don't dress yourself, you just go with whatever you have in your wardrobe. So attitude is the first thing. Number 2, passionate feeling. Well, you need to want that. If we talk about the soup, I want to eat soup, pumpkin soup. I don't want something else. So passion is you want that. You want that job. You want that person. You want, obviously, well, with the person, don't be obsessed. Be careful. What else? Well, with a goal, you want a goal. Well, you need to think of that and part of visualize yourself that you want that. Third is vibration, which is connected with the feeling. Are you vibrating with that? Do you see yourself doing that? Okay, I will give you an example of myself. I laugh right now. Well, as you know, English is not my first language, is the second. My first language is Spanish. And what happened is I was in Argentina, and I was in front of the mirror visualizing myself talking in English. And I don't know what I was saying. I was a kid. And I was but look at that now. Okay, I'm speaking English. So vibration, like you see yourself. Perfect diction. Well, that applies to understand what you're saying. Firm tone of voice. Perfect diction. Let me just give you an example because I don't want to see that to theory. I want to perfect diction. What does it mean? Clear example. I went the other day, you know that when you go to a consultation, the physiotherapist, the person calls you. You respond and you go. Well, my case, I went to call a patient, but with the wrong name. The name was, so I was there and I was saying, Anthony, and I thought, but why he doesn't answer? So I went back and I read this was Timothy. So then I came back, I said, Timothy, and then he said yes. And perfect diction. So I was calling another person, and the person was in front of me. Number 5, firm tone of voice. Have you seen, let's say, the Prime Minister of Australia talking? And he says, yes, Mr. Speaker, blah, 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 blah. He has a firm tone. Imagine someone like me talking like this and saying, I am healthy. Wow. And this is, believe me, this is the first thing that you see when someone starts studying metaphysics and starts saying the case. They speak so slowly. They don't have the firm tone of voice. When you say, I am healthy. Okay, that means I am prosperous. I am inclusive. And you open your arms to receive everyone. It doesn't mean you shout. I know that I say we because my background, we tend to speak a little bit louder, I was told. But it's about the conviction in your voice. So if I speak with someone and they don't transmit what they are saying, well, I don't believe them, of course. Number 6, dynamic rhythm. Like this. Bang, bang. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. I am prosperous. Dynamic. And then imposing posture. Sit, back straight, straighten, feet on the ground. Not like, imagine I'm speaking like this. What is that? No, you need to have a posture like this, sitting straight. So the energy in your spine is it can flow. So, decree. I take power away from you. Now, this is another is I don't want it, or I don't accept it, or you have no power. When you say I don't accept it or I don't want it, it doesn't really disappear the condition. But when you say you have no power, you are saying, or I take power away from you, you are saying that energy disappears for you and everyone else. We talk about attitude, and I just have an example 5 minutes before we started. I was assigned a room to perform this to give this activity. And what happened is the person asked me if I want another room. And I said, well, I didn't say, I take power away from you. I didn't say that. I didn't say, I don't want it. I just said, look, this room has PowerPoints. I said, I didn't bring my power, my projector. So then I have this room, the one I was I pay for it. So I say, I want that room. Is the attitude. I have another example. Oh my God. Yes. Many examples. I had problems with my vision. And I was a metaphysics student. And I said, okay, I am healthy. I am healthy. I am healthy. I use the causation quadrant. Thoughts, feelings, words, and actions. So I said, I am healthy. God is health. I am healthy. My feeling is, I said, okay, I want to see properly. So what I did, I call a optometrist. It's a ophthalmologist. And one day he gave me the date for the surgery. He did what he needed to do. Now I see perfectly well in the name of God. Another time I had braces when I was a kid, but one of the tooth for some reason got in the wrong direction. So and I say, I don't accept it. You have no power. And I was, it was only one. For me, it was only one. Then we realized that they were more affected, outlined. What happened? I said, okay, it's over. You have no power. I went again, and I had an appointment with a dentist, braces, Invisalign, tack. Perfect. Now I can be, and now I can smile. See, is saying the word, is the attitude. Sometimes you can say it verbally. Sometimes you can just say it mentally. Like you made the decision and then you act accordingly. Thank you, Father. This is a decree that in metaphysics we use a lot. Why? Because it's sunny. Thank you, Father. I got promoted today. I have to say, I said, thank you, Father, because I got like a promotion in my job. I said, oh, thank you, Father. So my boss thought I was calling him Father and said, okay, daughter. I said, no, I'm calling, thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. The God, Allah, Ishvara, the Creator, the universal being is the Father. Thank you, Father. You can say, when you have, you like your car, thank you, Father, for the car. You like your house, thank you, Father, for my house. Even for those things that you have not seen yet, when you say thank you, Father, that's the faith that you know that is going to happen, or it's already happened. Thank you, Father, because I have a safety trip. Thank you, Father, because I'm warm, and in the cold weather, I'm warm. And we can say this decree. I decree good for myself and affirm it for everyone. I decree good for myself and affirm it for everyone. We are not thinking of ourselves only. What we want, we share with everybody else. One of the decrees that I usually say is, I am the blue wall of Archangel Michael, protecting all the cars and mine as well. When I'm driving, I say that. Magnifying. Rubén Cedeño says, magnifying is enlarging or affirming a situation, condition, or thing. Is a magnifying glass. Is exactly the same. When do you magnify something? When you talk about it. Let's say you have a little bit of a situation. Let's say you have a situation with someone, I don't know, in any environment, at work or at home. And the more you speak, the more you magnify that. One of the teachers about this topic is Mother Mary, Jesus' mother. Mother Mary was a master of magnifying. What happened? Jesus was a kid, like everybody, any other kid. The kid was running and he got hurt on his knee. So Jesus came and said, oh, Mom, it hurts. So what she said, okay, come here, sit down. Let's magnify the good. So she taught Jesus how to magnify God. I said, and she was saying, God is health, you are healthy. And when she finished that, Jesus felt much better. Now, mothers have that power over kids. But they can magnify the good or the bad. Because if the kid, let's say the kid dropped fall, they ran and said, oh, are you hurt? And the kids, what they do? They fall. And nobody look at them. They just get up and walk again and keep walking. If someone was looking at them and they see that the person is running, like, what happened? They just start crying. Like, they look at them and they say, oh, they start crying like, I don't know, like what? So it's all about magnifying. Well, you can magnify the good. And this is what we say, I magnify the good by Rubén Cedeño. I magnify the good and deny the evil. I magnify faith and deny fear. I magnify love and deny hate. I magnify unity and deny separation. I magnify the truth and deny the lie. I magnify healing and deny sickness. I magnify peace and deny condemnation. I magnify forgiveness and deny condemnation. Now, we talk about different classification of decrees. One of the classification is treatment. So a treatment is more than a decree. It is a dynamic way of praying, stating positive affirmations, and applying one of the 7 universal principles or the 7 rays. We use treatments in metaphysics. And when you use a treatment, God's timing is perfect. What is a treatment? Well, this is a perfect example. When you go to the doctor and the doctor give you a treatment, let's say they give you medication, well, you need to take the medication once? No. You need to take the medication sometimes for a couple of days, sometimes for the rest of your life. Someone with high blood pressure, they need to take medication for the rest of their lives, or until the doctor says that's enough. Okay. With the treatment, there is no time, to manifest something. So a treatment could be when you want to forgive someone. So you say, let's say no, forgive. No. Let's put it in another way. You hate someone. Yes. First of all, you need to recognize that you hate that person. Once you recognize you hate that person, then you say, and why? How do you recognize? Well, let's say there are a group of people you work with, but you pay attention only one person. And whatever that person says is like a knife to you. Well, first of all, you recognize, okay, first I'm giving power to this person, what they are saying. And you recognize, okay. Second step, you say, I wrapped you in my circle of love. I wrapped you in my circle of love. And you say that, do. As the treatment is, are you going to say once? No. You are going to say as many times as you fix that. And one day when you see that person, you don't feel that anymore. I have an example. It happened to me, and I was working with that treatment, and I said, why I'm thinking of that person always. And I was with other people, and other people loved that person. I said, well, obviously it's me. It's not the person. So I said, okay, I used the treatment, and I was working with that person, and suddenly the person changed the job. Well, don't ask me. Was the treatment I worked with, and it worked. That's it. And obviously, when I see that person, I just can't speak. I say hello. That's fine. But yes. Example of treatment. So let's say an example. This is an example of a treatment. In the name of the divine presence of God, I decree that this matter is already fixed. Thank you, Father. So you're saying in the name of, if the word God, which is God is just a word, it doesn't vibrates with you, remember that vibration is very important. You can say in the name of the I am presence. I decree that this matter you are not mentioning, because if even in metaphysics we don't say the word problem. I know I'm saying right now, but just to give you the example. Why? To don't give it power. So we say, I decree this matter is already fixed. Thank you, Father. And in terms of time, don't think when. Because when you cook, I don't know if you cook, and if you cook a cake, I am the person who doesn't cook much, to be honest. No, I don't cook very often, but I cook cakes every now and then. And I cook banana bread, gluten-free, which I love and my partner loves too. So when I cook the banana bread, gluten-free banana bread, I wait for about 50 minutes to 1 hour to cook it in the oven. Now, if I open every now and then the oven to see how it's going, what will happen? The bread is not going to be cooked because I'm all the time opening the door of the oven. So when you do this decree, you just say the decree, and when you say thank you, Father, you are giving the affirmation that you already know that this is already done. When you bless something, bless the good. Don't say I bless you. When you bless, you multiply, you magnify. If someone is ill in a hospital and you go and say, I bless you, you are multiplying the illness. So we say, I bless the good in this situation, and I want to see it. Someone came once with well, I can give you the example. It's okay. Someone came to me complaining that the person who should have picked her up, he couldn't do it. It was an issue, and I said to her, "Okay, all right." I said to her, "Let's say I bless the good in this situation, and I want to see it." And then next time when she came, she found the right person. She was happy with the person and everything else. Another example, I use this a lot. Someone was afraid, a little bit nervous or anxious because he was going to have a surgery. So I said to him, okay, first I asked him, do you believe in God? And he said, not so much. Okay, don't worry, it's fine. You can say, you know that life is ready. Okay, so we can say, I bless the good in this situation and I want to see it. And then when he was recovered, he came and said, oh, everything was fine. Perfect. Thank you, Father. And see, always we thank the Father. The Father, because the Father is the only power, the only presence, the only activity. When do you eat? I love eating. So when we eat, what we are going to do is bless the food. So before, I don't know if you had the habit, but you can say, thank you, Father, for this food, and you just eat if you are in public, or you can say a little bit more elaborated blessing by saying, thank you, Father, for this food. Transform it into light in our bodies and bless the hands that prepare it. And then you just eat. Especially if you are going out, you are blessing the hands that prepare the food. Because have you seen the movie? I don't remember now if it's in English. Should be. As water for chocolate. It's a Mexican movie. From my memory, and it was about this lady who was a very good cook, but when she was upset and she was preparing the meal, everyone was crying, and she was excited and you know, with all hormones, and then everyone, when they ate, they went to have sex everywhere. Because what the person who prepares the meal is feeling is influencing that food, that meal. So imagine that the cook, when he was preparing the meal, he had a fight with his boss or her boss. Well, when you bless the hands and prepare it, you are neutralizing the energy. And jobs. Okay, this is a very common topic. Someone wants to change a job, or someone wants to find a job. They are not working. Well, you can use the power of your words and say this decree. In harmony with the whole world, under grace and in a perfect way, I am already working in the perfect place that God has reserved for me. Thank you, Father. And you will prevent a lot of headaches by saying this, because you are doing what you want. And the scientific prayer, which is the cornerstone of metaphysics, we can talk an hour and more about this, but for now we're just going to say it. Because whatever you want, whatever you need, if it's good, you can say this scientific, because you can prove if it works or not. And prayer, because it's a decree actually, but it's a prayer. Well, that's the difference. We don't pray in metaphysics. This is a conversation I have with one of my patients who is a priest. And he asked me, "And Noemi, how do you pray?" He said. And I look at him and say, "Look, I don't pray. I decree. I decree in the name of God, in the name of the I Am presence. But if I say in the name of God, it's the same. But some people, they have an image of God, a wrong image. They have misconceptions about God, like God is a human being sitting on a cloud with beer, pointing and punishing everybody else. Well, no. God is the being, the 7 universal principles, and the 7 rays. So, when you say the being, I say the being is I am. Well, in the name of the I Am presence. The I Am presence is your spirit, the perfect you, in harmony with the whole world. That whatever you are going to, whatever you are thinking of is going to be in harmony with everybody else. You cannot ask that someone, someone dies. Well, it's not going to happen. Or if it happened, the first person is going to be affected is you. Under grace. Under grace means that this is what Connie Mendez says, you don't even have to move a finger to see what you want. That is under grace. And in a perfect way. In a perfect way. Let's say that you ask for a house. You decree for a house. And the house doesn't come, but comes something better. Well, that's in a perfect way. You didn't have what you wanted, but you had something better. According to God's will, and if it is within the law, we are talking that we are saying something good. I decree, and this is when very important, you say in very detail what you want. Let's say you want, I'll give you the example of how did I get my house? By saying the scientific prayer. I said I want this house with these bedrooms, the floor, the carpet. My partner wanted carpet in the bedrooms. I said okay, but I don't want carpet in the living room and the kitchen because it's not clean enough. So we got what we wanted. Then he said, oh, I want a nice view. He didn't want he said, I want to see beyond. I don't want to have walls next to me. So we live now in the Blue Mountains, surrounded by trees. So yeah, that's how you describe it. and then thank you, Father, it has already been fulfilled. When you say thank you, Father, it brings you a sensation of peace, like it's already done. Thank you, Father, that I already had the house, I already got the job or the car, I already met someone. This is when I said the example, two friends of mine said the scientific prayer to meet another person. And then they met each other. So be very specific. And that's it. Okay, well, thank you very much and see you next time. Bye for now.